Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing great. We are just starting with a new session which is called as a Git hands-on session, and in which you and I we both will be working together in learning and implementing Git on your local machine. My job over here is pretty simple. I just have to come and explain you the commands, but it's your job to implement those commands and execute them on your local machine. At the same time, guys, the beauty of these lectures are going to be that it's going to only last for 1 hour. We are not going to put like 2 hours or 3 hours stretch because I know that gets really exhaustive, right? So we're just going to study for 1 hour and you guys will be practicing it on your local machine. At any point, if you get stuck, you can always reach out to me on the WhatsApp group and I'll try my best to answer them on time. So without wasting time, let's get started. And one more quick request, guys, if you haven't followed us on Facebook and on YouTube or on LinkedIn, please follow Gallo. And now let's get started. The first job over here is to really check whether Git is installed on your machine or not. And if you're someone who's entering into the IT for the very first time, or if you're using a personal laptop to learn automation, programming, and all those things, then guys, chances is you don't have Git installed on your machine. If it was an office laptop, I would have kept my fingers crossed, shayad hoga. But anyways, what we're going to do is you just go to your start and search for Git. Now you see that I'm just getting best matches called GitHub and all those things, but as of now, there's nothing installed over here. So one more way of checking it, just open your command prompt quickly, CMD. Over here, guys, what you do is you just type Git. And if Git is not really installed on your machine, it would say that Git is not recognized as an internal or external command. So this means that Git installed nahi hai on your local machine. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to install Git on your local machine. So how we are going to do it? We are going to go to your favorite browser, Internet Explorer, no, Chrome browser. So let's go over here to Chrome, and over here I'm just going to search for download Git for Windows. Okay, so I'm just going to click on download Git, and I'm just going to click on download for Windows. So let it download the installer. So I just have to wait for the download to get completed. So the download is completed over here. So let's click over here and let's start with the installation. Acha guys, some of you guys might be using your Mac or Ubuntu operating system. So how do I do the installation for that? You don't really need to worry. Just follow the same steps. Visit the download page of your GIT SCM. And over here, guys, this button will be automatically highlighted for your specific operating system. So for instance, if it was a Mac operating system, it would be saying download for Mac. Or if it was an Ubuntu operating system, it would have highlighted with download for Linux or Ubuntu, something like that. So that's all you need to do. The rest of the steps will remain exactly same. You just need to click on next, 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 and just wrap it up. So now guys, I have the Git installed on my local machine. Let's quickly verify whether Git is there or not. So I'm just going to go to your Windows and I'm going to type Git over here. And you see that I find these options, which is called as Git Bash, Git CMD, Git GUI, and this was the installer file that was there. At the same time, guys, if I just open my CMD command prompt, open this guy over here, and I just type Git, you'll see that it gives me something like this. So it means that Git is now installed on your local machine. So go ahead, install Git on your local machine. It's as simple as 1, 2, and 3. Okay guys, now that we have installed Git on a local machine, it's time for some action. I want to create local repositories. I want to do commits into my local repositories. At the same time, I want to create those fancy branches. But how I'm going to do that part? And for that, guys, we are going to use your Git Bash terminal now. We are going to execute all the Linux commands on your Git Bash terminal. A Git Bash terminal is like a Segwin tool. I will be able to execute various Linux commands on my Windows operating system via the Git Bash terminal. So when you are practicing Git, not only you're learning the Git commands, but at the same time, you will be learning various Linux command. Ye to bumper offer hai, right? So let's get started over here. So the first thing that we have to do over here, guys, is you have to go to your start and search for something which is called as Git Bash. Now, when you just type Git, you'll find Git Bash, Git CMD, and Git GUI. Technically, Git CMD and Git GUI, you can just avoid it. You will not be using it in your project. That's for sure. But Git Bash is something that I'm really interested in, because while learning your Git commands, you will also learn the Linux commands. So that is really going to help us out get better over here. So let's start the Git Bash, and here is my terminal. So the first thing, guys, I think so the font is a little bit small over here. So let me just increase the font size. So how I'm going to do it, just press the control button or the command button on your keyboard and just play with your scroll. If I just scroll up, my font size keeps on increasing. That's all you have to do. Now, the first thing that you see is this root now. So this root thing which you're seeing, it signifies that you are at the root level. What is this root level? So if you look at the title bar, it's written over here, C users Jatin. So this Git Bash terminal is going to show me all the files, all the folders which are there in this Jatin directory. So what is the difference between a directory and a folder? In simple words, if you have to just remember, it's the same stuff. Right now in your terminal, we refer to as directory, but when you're working on a UI mode, we call it a folder. That's all it is. Now over here, guys, I want to see all the files that are present in this Jatin directory or Jatin folder. How can I do it? Just by executing your ls command. Ls command basically stands for list command in your Linux. If I hit enter, you will see that it shows me all the files and the folders and the shortcut links which are present in the Jatin folder. How do I know that this is going to be a folder? See, whenever there is going to be a forward slash, it signifies that this is a directory or this is a folder. You see these @ signs and these teal color, these are basically the shortcuts, and these white color content ntuser.dat, okay, and ntuser.dat.log1, these are all the files in this particular Jatin directory. Now guys, I want you guys to do the same stuff on your local machine. Open the Git Bash terminal and just see what this tilt is written at the title bar for you guys. Mostly it would be written C users and your name over there. And now in this root level, hit ls command. And you should see something similar like this. The content might be different, of course, because it's your local machine, my local machine. But just try to remember, anything that has a forward slash and is in this purple or blue color, that basically signifies that it is a folder or a directory. And anything that's there with this teal color and with this @ sign is basically a shortcut. And anything which is there in the white color stuff, which ends with an extension, is basically a file. Now, if you're using a Mac or a Ubuntu machine, you don't have this color ka bifurcation over there. For you, everything would be white. Sorry. And the second thing over there, guys, is you don't have the Git Bash thing with you. So you have to just open your normal terminal and execute the same stuff at your end. Rest all the stuff will remain the same. Please practice it at your end and just observe the things properly. Okay, I hope you guys have practiced and saw executing the ls command at your end. Now let's try to say the second command, which is the cd command. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys already know what exactly cd command is used for. Cd command is basically used for changing from one directory to another directory or from one folder to another folder. So how I'm going to use the cd command over here? So what I want to do is, inside this Jatin profile or in this Jatin directory, I have this desktop folder or desktop directory. Too much directory and folders going on. Let's stick to directory for now. Okay, so there's going to be a desktop directory and I want to go inside the desktop directory. So how I'm going to do it? I'm just going to type cd and just type des. Wait, do not type full, yaar. Itna time nahi hota ki you're going to type everything by yourself. Okay, so just type des and hit the tab button. Kaboom, auto complete ho jayega. So it's gonna get auto completed. So just use cd desktop and hit enter. Now you'll observe that the path has changed. It has changed from the tilt to tilt /desktop, which signifies that you are in the desktop directory. And same thing has happened on the title bar also. It is written that you are in C users Jatin desktop. Now let's clear the screen because everything is written at the bottom, right? It gets a little bit bad for you guys to see it. So we'll fix it out quickly, and you can do it with the help of clear command. So what clear is going to do? Clear the screen for you. That's all. So the screen is clear now, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit ls. So just hit ls, hit enter, and you see a couple of things more. So you see Eclipse IDE for Java developer, notes, Zoom ka link, batches, and desktop.ini. In the desktop directory, guys, we're going to look for the third command, that is creating the directory. Now, in order to create a directory using your terminal, you're going to use the mkdir command. And guess what exactly mkdir stands for? It stands for make directory. And all you need to do is you have to just give the name of the directory over here. So observe one quick tip over here. Let's say, guys, I want to create a folder or a directory inside this desktop folder. How I'm going to do it? I can use over here my make directory command, mkdir command, followed by the name of the directory. So let's say, guys, I want to create a directory which is called as git module. This is what I write it down over here. And the moment I hit enter, I don't get any output, like it's an empty screen, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit ls, and you'll observe that when I executed mkdir command, mkdir git space module, this guy actually went and created two directories, git and module. But we don't want that, right? The name of the single directory was supposed to be git space module, right? So what happens over here is, guys, in your terminal, whenever you want to create a directory, and if your directory is going to have a space inside it, in that name, you have to use mkdir, and in single quote, just give git space module. This is how you are going to name your directory when you are using the terminal. So git space module, hit enter. And if I do a ls, now you'll observe it has created a directory called git module, and these two directories are of no use for us. So we are going to delete these two directories. How we are going to delete it? If mkdir command is basically used to create a directory, how do I'm going to delete a directory? Guess. rmdir command. If I write rmdir space and I just give the name of the directory, git space module, and I hit enter, what is going to happen is the two directories that we have created will get deleted. They are deleted from the desktop. This is what has happened. Now, if I show you my desktop, it would look like this. So you will see that there is a git module folder which is created over here. Interesting, right? So I want you guys to practice the same thing at your end and see if you're able to create a directory using the make directory command, remove the directory using the rmdir command, and list the file using the ls command. Go ahead and do the practice.